Howdy do, buckaroos. I think it's starting. I never can tell when this thing starts. I got this toasty fire behind me, as you can see. It looks like I'm coming out of the fires of hell. I look like Hades from the Hercules cartoon in the fire. Anyways, this time to be a whisper, and I'm hanging out with my daughter actually, who's getting a little relaxing time, and she's just coloring, and she's going to be my live studio audience. She had to watch as I set up my studio. Got my big fire going on there. It looks good though, don't it? I mean, it's better than usually see me do them outside where I'm using seat cushions as a backdrop. See a pretty fire for Christmas anyway. So Merry Christmas to y'all. I hope y'all are having a good one. Using my Bushmills mug here that my wife found at a DAV maybe someplace a while back. I can't remember if she got these at Goodwill or DAV. I don't remember now. Anyway, I made some Irish coffee. I'm using the you can see it, but you can't. It is the Irishman Founders Reserve Irish whiskey. I've got 2 ounces of the whiskey in there. I've got 1 ounce of vanilla syrup that I'm using in place of sugar. So it's a version of an Irish coffee and topped with whipped cream, obviously. This is relatively strong coffee. Yeah, babe. Just a little. My daughter wanted some coffee, so I thought, well, I'm going to start with some Irish coffee then. Because who knows how long I might ramble. I just set this up minutes ago, so I did invite just a few friends. I don't expect anybody to show up because it was again I just kind of threw it after spur of the moment, not a whole lot of thought into it. I just thought I'm going to go ahead and set this up and do some. Mostly the main reason I wanted to do a video was my Christmas present from my daughter. Let me show it to you here. My daughter Kalysta. Can you see that there? It says the Beer Whisperer. She made this here as well. It says, I love you, Dad. Merry Christmas 2015. There we go. Let me show that to you. I was thinking about, I had a couple ideas to do with it. She had mentioned just using it for change, and we might do that, but I was thinking maybe of getting some red lentils, which look orange, some white beans, and some green split peas, and making kind of an Irish flag in there. And I was also thinking about going to my local home brew store. Going to my local home brew store and getting some barley malt and fill it with the barley. How about that? That'd be kind of neat, especially for a beer guy. I use it as a permanent backdrop. So anyway, I'm going to finish my coffee here so I can start on this beer. But I'm going to pour it because this beer can breathe a little bit. Schalfly Christmas Ale. I just picked this up today so I could use it with this glass specifically. I tend to buy this about once a year, and I hadn't bought it yet this year. It's been running about $11 a 6-pack everywhere. It really is worth that. I'm just cheap. But I did find it at Sam's today for $8. So I figured, well, for that price, I'm going to buy her. That was $9. It was $8.96. Anyways, 8%, 30 IBUs. Oh, I'm going to pour and I'll read just a touch from the bottle. If my eyes can focus. A special reserve release Christmas Ale is available for a limited time with a new style every few months. Schalfly Christmas Ale. It's a warming winter ale that blends the spices of the season with sweet caramel malt. Other than that, I imagine the website gives specifics, but I'm not getting on there to look. This is only a 10-ounce glass, so I'm not going to get all of the beer in here. She had wondered, can you see from there, dear, if it would show up more with something dark in the glass. It does, actually. Let me show it to you there and try not to spill. Yep, there you go. It says the Beer Whisperer. So I have my own glass. How about that? I thought about having a few made up, but I'm not sure where to have that done around here. Apologize for scratching my nose in front of you. It's driving me crazy. It's the fire behind me. It's that crackling. Can you hear it? There's a couple other Other ones, oh, but they have music playing. So I thought, well, I'll go with this one that just has the crackling fire and no Christmas carols with it for right now. Anyways, let me put that bottle up there so you can kind of see it. A nice, pretty Schalfly Christmas ale. I'm going to come over and scratch my nose. Drive me crazy. Finish up my Irish coffee. Yum. That's how you start a day. First drink of the day, and it's almost dark. So, you know, I mean, this is a Saturday. I've done pretty good today. Waited that long. Schalfly Christmas ale. How about that? Wow. You can smell some spices. I did, like I said, didn't look on the website to see exactly what they're using. But if I was a guessing man, I tell you, I'm certainly feeling some nutmeg, maybe cinnamon, maybe a little clove. It's very malty, it's a little sweet on the nose. Let's take a drink. Yeah, babe, that's what they like. Oh, wow. Mm. It's a nice, rich Christmas ale. It's 8%, but you don't feel a lot of alcohol there. But it doesn't feel like you're a 4% session ale either. It does have some teeth to it. Mm. Very nice indeed. Great glass. What do you think? I think you can see there at the. Now, yeah, Sean, I put it up there before I had anything in it, but you really can notice that etching better. Notice that etching better now that I have that in. Beer Whisper. The Beer Whisperer. She made that herself. So thanks, babe. I love you. She's not ready to go on camera yet, so she just be in the background. As I do my thing, man. Oh, that's in a minute. Take the last swig of my whipped cream here. I love me some whipped cream. So, anyways, what the hell, Tom? Yeah. So let me finish this beer, huh? Grammy wanted to do something with the grandkids as a surprise. So Kalysta really needed some some relaxation. So she's just relaxing while Grampy does his thing. So, and I really wanted to use this glass. I mean, you want to get that itching back out there so you can see it. Oh, hold on. I got a burp stuck right there. There it is. Oh, there we go. Excuse me. Oh, we're done. Excuse me. Whoa. Excuse me from the bottom of my heart. If I'd have waited any longer, it would have been a fart. A burp is just a gas congested through the heart. When it takes a downward pass, it turns into a fart. Anyways, it's Christmas. So should I tell my favorite winter themed jokes? I'm doing an official Christmas video with a Christmas sale. So how do you catch a polar bear? How do you catch a polar bear, Kalysta? She's giving me the look. You got same like her mother gets. You cut a hole in the ice, and then you put peas around the ice. So when the bear comes up to take a pee, you kick him in the ice hole. There you go. I was waiting for the rib shot. So this guy's looking for a unique gift for his wife. He always guesses and he doesn't know what to get her. So he goes to a pet shop. And he's looking around and the guy says, I've got something for you. I got Chet the parrot over here. says, well, what does Chet do? So the guy takes a lighter and he puts it under Chet's right foot, and Chet sings Jingle Bells. He puts it under the left foot, and Chet sings We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Guy says, that's awesome. I'm going to take it home. So he takes it home, and on Christmas morning, he pops open the thing, and there's Chet the parrot, and he takes the deal, and Chet sings Jingle Bells, puts it on the other foot, and Chet sings We Wish You a Merry Christmas. The wife says, well, what happens if you put the lighter in the middle? So he puts the lighter in the middle, and the parrot sings, Chet's nuts roasting on an open fire. Kalysta? There we go. Thanks for playing. Thanks for playing, y'all. The applause sign goes down. The crowd goes wild. Praise. Tough crowd. It's a tough audience. An audience of one. I can't even hold her attention. He says her days. How old were you when you got in trouble for saying that in school? 8. I was thinking it was younger. Who knows?
No, younger was the white horse.
The white horse. Oh yeah. Yeah, but you probably used the teacher as an example, didn't you?
Yep.
That was a call from the principal. So I probably had this. I changed gears real quick there. Before that, just completely digressed. Schalfly Christmas, yeah. I probably had this a little bit colder than it needed to be, so it's kind of letting it warm up just a touch in the glass here. These are neat 10-ounce goblets. What happened was my dad had beer bar when I was just bored, I guess. He'd sold it when I was very young. But who knows? But anyways, well, not long ago, a few years ago, anyway, we found a case of them that were unopened. These were glasses from about '65. I mean, they're pretty old glasses, but there was an unopened case, so I've been kind of using them. I don't know, a smart man might have put them aside, but yeah, they're just glasses, you know. I like to use them, so they're neat little goblets. A lot of them were used back then, because they look big. But most draft pours back in those days were a 10-ounce pour. You bought a 12-ounce bottle. Drafts were always cheaper, and a lot of people didn't realize that it was just a 10-ounce pour. At most places, some places were different, but generally speaking, that was the rule. But it gives you the illusion it's a large glass. But they you know, again, it's 10-ounce pour. Anyway, what I was trying to say earlier was I'm letting it warm up a little bit because I probably had a little bit colder than it needed to be. I had it out sitting for about 5 minutes before I poured it, but it's still, I feel a little cool on the glass. This kind of beer really probably is best at about 55. Some may say 55 to 60. Me personally, I'm going to say 50 to 55. But as it warms, I'm really feeling more of the spices. It's becoming more cohesive. I was feeling them sharper, but now it's kind of melding together with the malt more so. A beautiful sticky malt, almost kind of like a burnt sugar kind of feel to it. I haven't looked up on the website to see what they expect, but I'm feeling more burnt sugar, more brown sugar, maybe a little molasses. I'm not feeling, you know, fruit notes that a lot of beers have. Holiday ales, I've noticed a lot of people describe as, you know, dark fruit, plums, that kind of thing. I'm not feeling that at all from this. I'm just feeling the big sticky malt. It's not hopped heavy. A beer like this shouldn't be. You want just enough in a beer like this to keep it from becoming too sweet, to keep it from becoming cloying. Again, I didn't look up on their website to see what they're using in this, but I'm not going to guess a specific variety. But what I'm getting is more of kind of an earthy, you know, kind of herbal-like feel. Again, just enough to clean it all up. Oh, it's very nice. Wow, man. I was trying to do that. I don't want to pound the beer, drink it fast, but I wanted to do the video over the entire beer so you feel the entire experience. It's my first beer of the day, but you saw me have the Irish coffee, so technically that was the first drink of the day. This is the first beer of the day. I like this Irishman Let me get that bottle down for you. I got it up. Everything's a little precarious up here. There, you get a good look at that Schalfly bottle. Let me get this one up for you. I picked this up back in August, and I actually didn't crack it until Thanksgiving. As you can see, I've kind of been using some since. But the Irishman, let me look at it here for you. Founders Reserve. Get where I can see there. There's an 80 proof whiskey. Small Irish whiskey, a unique vatting using 70% aged single malt and 30% single pot still. So it's an interesting blend. You got 70% single malt whiskey with a single pot still whiskey. It makes for a very smooth, very enjoyable whiskey. I'm going to pour some neat here in just a little bit. I'll probably pour some neat, some on the rocks. But I was letting that Irish coffee settle. I was letting that Irish coffee settle and working on this Schalfly Christmas ale. Yeah, baby, that's what they like. It's I say this in almost every video that I have a Schalfly beer in, so I know I'm repeating myself, but I do feel they're an underrated craft breweries when beer geeks tend to talk about their favorites, especially in St. Louis. Perennial always comes out. Four Hands, Urban Chestnut, or ones that get mentioned, Alpha. For some reason, Schalfly's that's been the longest tends to get overlooked. And I think a lot of that is because they don't do a lot of the crazy styles that a lot of these brewers are doing. What Schalfly does, what Schalfly's home run swing is just being stylistically perfect. They do things perfect within their style. Their holiday step, though, for me, are always home runs. This Schalfly Christmas ale, their pumpkin is one of the the forerunners in the pumpkin beer business. I don't know if they were the first, but they were very. I think was it Wild Bill's was the first, but Schalfly was very early on, man, and they've been knocking that great one out for a while. But they do a big 8% dry stout just before St. Patrick's Day. That's just freaking brilliant. They do a lot of great stuff, but a lot of their stuff is just perfect within the style. They may not necessarily be out of the box beers or what's the word I'm looking for? Just crazy big in your face beers, but they're perfect within their style. And that's what Schalfly does. That's what Schalfly's been doing well for a very long time. And it does frustrate me that they get overlooked. They really ought to be in that conversation of some of the best brewers in the country. But St. Louis in general, I think needs to be talked about as one of the best beer towns. You always hear about Denver area, Colorado's got some great brews. You hear about Oregon and Washington and the Pacific Northwest having some great breweries. There's a lot of great breweries out on the East Coast. But for the Midwest, I don't know that it's better than the St. Louis area. There's a whole bunch of places in a very small area. What's great about St. Louis is the neighborhoods. There's always something in every neighborhood. In the Dogtown area, you've got a couple nice Irish pubs, Seamus, McDaniel's, and Pat Connolly's Tavern. But you've also got Heavy Riff Brewery that's doing some amazing stuff as well. They're a little smaller. They're not getting a lot of notice yet, but their stuff is great. Grove has Urban Chestnut. They also have a Midtown location. Then more downtown, you've got Four Hands. Oh, excuse me. You've got Four Hands. You've got Alpha. Perennials around that area. I'm not exactly sure what neck of the woods you'd call. Civil Life is out there somewhere too. There's more that I'm not mentioning right now. But whatever neighborhood of St. Louis that you plan on parking yourself, Lafayette Square has Square One, which is fantastic. There's just so many great places out there that every serious beer geek really needs to visit St. Louis, because it doesn't matter what style you're looking for, you've got a brewery that's perfect for you. If you want traditional German styles, nobody on the planet doing stuff better than Urban Chestnut. Again, if you want everything just solid and on the mark, Schalfly. and they've got 2 locations. They got the tap room and the bottle works. For again, out of the box stuff, just crazy stuff. You've got Perennial, you got Four Hands, you've got Alpha. For more session-like beers, you've got Civil Life. It's just, it's just everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And it's not just the breweries, tap rooms. There's just a lot of great craft beer bars as well. And not just craft beer bars. Just, again, I mentioned Pat Connolly's Tavern and Seamus McDaniel's are great places to hit too. Neither are necessarily craft beer meccas, but they both do have some. But it's just the atmosphere of both places are very nice. I was at both briefly, and I just adored both places. I'm going to have to burp again. Excuse me. Coffee. The coffee's coming back at me. You think it'd be the beer, but it's the coffee, man. So I'm going to take my last swallow, and I'm going to shut this program down. And I'm probably going to set another one up and do something else. I'm going to probably have a shot of this neat, maybe on the rocks. Who knows what I might do? He's crazy. Don't tell him what he might do, man. I think I'm one of the few guys that don't script a damn thing. I don't plan. I don't script down. I'm not knocking folks that plan. I mean, there's certainly a reason to do that. to make a plan. There's nothing wrong with making a plan, Tom. No, I'm not knocking you guys that do. But I'm kind of the opposite end of that spectrum. I don't consider what I do as really a beer review. I'm more the commentary on the other end. I've always wanted to pair with a beer reviewer. There's a few guys out there I really like, but timing seems to be off. There's a few out there I would like to do regular segments with and let them almost like almost like an NFL pregame show, you know what I mean? Like a sports prayer, even a major MLB game where you have the color commentary guy and the play-by-play guy, have him tell you the specifics of the beer and have me just talk about the feel of it, kind of go back and forth, have him give you the actual specifics and have me just kind of talk about, the feel, which is kind of what I do. But maybe someday I'll find the right guy that can, deal with my, my irreverence. I am not for everybody, as you know. So anyways, I'm going to take a drink here. See, it looks like there's beer in there if you look at that. But in actuality, there's like maybe a swaller left. Two swallers. So I wanted to video with this glass while my daughter was here. So thank you, Kalysta. I love you, babe. You trying to do something? Trying to do a laser on my. I think somebody's trying to shoot me. Anyway, I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer. Merry Christmas to y'all. I'll talk to you later.